So this is the review of the M5, and just a little disclaimer in the beginning. I was actually ill for the whole week, and I suffered an injury, as you can see in my last video. So I wasn't able to do as much testing as I wanted to. So what I did was I went out and did a bit of vlogging. You know, it's the whole reason I got the camera, and you can see it in various situations. So there's a time lapse. I only got one in. I didn't really have much time for anything else, and I wasn't really feeling that great either, and I lost my voice, so I couldn't really talk much in it. So you can have a look at the videos after I give you a pros and cons of this camera. So first of all, there are 21 points in which I want to talk to you about. So the pros of the camera. Number one, superior autofocus. This camera has really good autofocus that I have just not seen on this kind of level before. I know it's present on the C300 Mark II, on the C300 and C100, but it's more spread across, so you can actually like move your face across and stuff like that. You can get like really close and then go back again and it still be in focus. It's just really cool for like vlogging. This is a dream, you know. I highly recommend the autofocus on this camera. I've not had one issue with it whatsoever. Second point, low file sizes. So on the GH4, because it's used 4K files, obviously 1080p is not really that great, but if you shoot 4K files, you're going to get massive files, and it takes up a lot of space. You'd be surprised how much space it takes up. On this, okay, it's 1080p files, but they're so small, it's so easy to edit with. You know, it's you don't need that much hard drive space, and if you're going to be doing daily vlogging, you got to think about that. You know, 4K is great, but is it worth the cost of your story? You know, so yeah, file size is massive plus. I've forgotten how small 1080p files can be, so that's great for me. Third thing, so at the moment I'm looking at my monitor, the flip down screen, and I'm just wondering if you can tell the difference. So this is me looking at the flip down screen, this is me looking at the lens, and this is me looking at the microphone, or about where the top screen would flip up if you were to look at it. Now, from what I can gather, there's not much difference. See, I'm looking at the screen now I'm looking at the lens. There's not much difference between looking down at the monitor and looking at the lens. So when you're holding the camera, you could actually just look at it, and you know, I kind of get the feeling that I'm looking at the lens, you know, I'm looking at the audience. So that's why I think they did it. I think they built this camera with vlogging in mind, but there is a con to that, and I'll get into that on the con side. Fourth, this camera is extremely lightweight. It's quite compact. That's the whole reason why I got it. I wanted a really light camera to take around. GH4 is still light, but it's heavier than this camera. From my handheld experience anyway, that's what it tells me. Fifth point, it's compatible with all Canon mount lenses. So that's EF, EFS, and EFM. You can also put in like older vintage lenses in as well. So if you bought this as part of the kit lens, you get the adapter free, which is great. It doesn't come with the little tripod screw-in thing though, which was a bit annoying. I had a word with Canon and Jessops about that, and they're basically passing the blame on to each other. So who knows, maybe I can find a cheap one somewhere or something like that. Sixth point, it has a headphone port and a microphone port, which is really important. That's basically what you need if you want a good vlogging camera. There are the little Sony RX100s or whatever they're called. To my knowledge, some of them don't have microphone ports or headphone ports, but I can't really remember. So that was the sixth and seventh point. So on to the eighth. So eighth point. This camera has got wireless functions, so you can transmit the signal to your phone, and you can take a picture while holding your phone, etc. I'm a little bit unsure as to what the point is, because if it's a selfie camera, you can see yourself, but then if you want to take a picture, you're going to have the phone in your hand. So it's probably better if you just set a timer on your camera to take a picture of yourself. And yeah, it just baffled me. Maybe for video or something, you want to put the camera in a weird place or something, it's probably good, but you know, maybe it's the future. I guess people enjoy shooting wirelessly for some reason, or maybe remote shooting if it works. I haven't really gone into it. It didn't interest me that much. So the 9th point, the dials on the camera are really nice. They're solid. I don't feel like they're plasticky or anything like that. Maybe it could be better built slightly, but you know, for the price, it's pretty nice. They just feel really good to turn, like just the right amount of friction and stuff like that. One annoying thing that I will say, and I know it's supposed to be in a con, but I'll just quickly add it here, is that when you want to change the mode, you got to push in the button and turn it. For me, that's slightly annoying. On the GH4, you click out the button, you can turn, and then click in to keep it locked. I'd rather you did that. I don't like having to hold down and then turn it. It's a bit fiddly because the camera is quite small. So yeah, there's that. 10th point, this camera looks really, really, really good. The design is really nice. I love the color on it, the contrasting, it's like gunmetal. 11th point, the camera is really good for vlogging. It's really easy to use. You flip down screen, it's got IS built in, it's got digital IS built in if you want to use that. I wouldn't use that, I'll tell you why after. Everything about the camera is just pretty easy to use. You can just turn it on, you know, it's foolproof. So 12th point, low light for this camera is not that bad actually. I shot a couple of scenes in the later videos which you'll see. I'm not going to say which ones, you'll probably have a guess at which, but when it's really dark, it went up to a maximum ISO of 6400, and it's pretty usable. You know, it's not A7S usable, but it's usable. Point 13, the menu on the camera is pretty easy to use. So onto the cons now. Cons of the camera. What are the cons? Well, so point 14, con number one. No, that was point 14. Yeah, point 14. So the first con, which is point 14, the price of the camera. Is it worth the price tag? I don't know, to be honest with you. It's a little bit like, I'm just going to say it. I think Canon are going for the Apple approach, where they don't give you rich feature sets. Everyone else is out there, they're cramming features into their cameras, and it's like, wow, they're getting cheaper and they're getting better and stuff like that. But it's a thing of reliability. And to be honest with you, most people, I think, in a professional medium, would rather pick a camera that is reliable, and they know they can get results out of it, they know what they can use out of it, and they can use it time and time again without having to suffer continuous issues. That's what I think. So is the price worth it? You decide. Would you buy an iPhone 7 when you can get like an Android phone that has like double the features that Apple will probably implement in 3 years time? You know, it's about reliability and, you know, how stable your software is, and you know, Canon does that really well. They might be skimping just a little bit. I think in this price point, I would have liked to have seen 4K, even if it was like a low bit rate or something. You know, I don't know. Why not give us 120 frames per second in 1080p? So point 15, the EFM lenses, the range of what I can see so far, they suck. Point 16, no 4K. Not an issue for me because I wanted something easy to shoot with, and 1080p is absolutely fine for me. I just need something snap. File sizes were killing me financially. GH4 just takes up too much space. 4K is okay, but until they start making 10 terabyte hard drives for about 100 quid, it's just not worth it. Point 17, so the flip down screen, it's good for handheld vlogging and stuff like that. As most people have already figured out, that if you try to put like a Joby Gorilla Pod on it, which I've got, which is what Casey Neistat uses or used to use now that he's retired, it gets in the way. You're not going to be able to see yourself. I can see why they've done the screen as it is. Like I said in the pros, it's like you're looking at the lens almost. So it just helps you that little bit more. It is annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is annoying. So there's nothing you can do about it. Point 18. We need more customization for shooting modes. I'd like the ability to manually set f-stops and shutter speed and ISOs individually. So and I mean that as in, like, if I want ISO automatic and f-stop automatic, then I should be able to leave my shutter speed whatever. Maybe I think it's possible to do it in the photo modes, but why not in the movie mode? It doesn't make sense to me. Manual focus peaking, I haven't used it yet. It's a great addition that they've got it. I think it's the only Canon camera that has that without Magic Lantern, and I do know Magic Lantern exists. I used to use it on my 600D. So it's good that they've started implementing that in. I think that other cameras should have had that ages ago. Point 19, codecs and containers. I can't change anything. I'm stuck with this MP4 format or whatever it is they've given me. So point 20. Now point 20, I'm slightly deliberating on, my point is that when you put the Rode Video Mic Pro on the camera, it sticks out a bit. And like, because the camera's so small, I'm kind of just like wondering, is it look ridiculous? I don't know. I'm getting used to it. It's taking me time. Whereas the GH4 was so like bulky, and then this is like kind of sleek and slim. It's like putting a bear on top of a Ferrari. Point 21, there is no weather sealing. Okay, so basically this camera, as I said, or if I haven't said, I've said it now, is great for vlogging. It's great for handheld, and I feel like the handheld thing is, you kind of want to pick it up more. It's kind of like the G7X, where you kind of just pick it up and go. It does get weighty after a long time. Like, I've been chatting now for 20 minutes, but it'll probably be cut down into a couple of minutes. It's really good. It's easy to use. It's very nice colors out of it. I really like the colors. And just one thing, do not use digital IS on this camera. It sucks. I got some video later after this. You'll see like some day trips that I took, because that's all I could do. I didn't have time for anything else. So apologies about that. I will be making a short film with this camera. It'll be on this channel. It'll be similar to my Waterloo video that I shot, which is on my other channel, which is youtube.com/film Ultra, AUTRE. It's linked to this channel as well, so you'll be able to see that, and it'll be linked in the description below. So overall, do I think you should buy this camera? Yes and no. Make your own choice. Everyone, I like the camera. I chose it because I wanted it. So you can easily just tap the screen, and it allows you the 3 options here. So you got time-lapse, movie, exposure mode. So I've just selected time-lapse. Okay, what did I do? Oh yeah, so tap here on ISO. So it gives you shooting scenes. If we have a look through, we've got different options here. So if I just go down, you can see that shoot moving slowly. Okay, and then this one is custom. For this one, we're going to do moving people. So we're going to try that out. Interval, so for 15 minutes, we'll keep that as it is. Exposure fixed, review image on. Then once we're done, we'll go back. Okay, let's select my focus point. I want to select this and see how it does. Let's see if it changes anything. Okay. So, and we are off. I spotted a problem with time-lapse mode, and it's something to do with the ISO. For some reason it won't let me change the ISO, keep it to where I want it to be. I'm trying to put it, I'll figure out how to set it to manual. That Star Wars costume is £1,000. It's so expensive. That is pretty cool. Now this toy is really cool. Look at that. Oh no, that's the thingy, the girl, I can't remember her name. Right. Oh, the droids. How big is I want that Bane was. Oh, that's nice. That's alright. I want that car. I want the gun. I want the cow. I want the mask. Is that bronze sculpture?
How much is the bone? $3.99.
Yeah, so you know what you're getting me, right?
No. You can see the picture on it.
Yeah.
On the other side of the board, you can go. If you don't like it, you can clean it with a normal cloth. You can play games or teach a child. You can write the letters for the name. Screw around looking at me, waiting to say something because I was recording. That concludes Hamley's trip.